After a number of goes, I think I finally managed to go live, and I hope that you can all hear me and see me. If you're following me on any platforms, feel free to leave a comment. I'm experimenting going live with Riverside FM. It connects to my Facebook and my YouTube accounts. I haven't figured out how to get Instagram or TikTok on there yet. So if you know how to crack that, I'd appreciate hearing from you. So hopefully I can reach a wider audience next time. I'm keeping an eye on here to see if there's any comments coming in. And from what I can see, both platforms are now live. So the reason I decided to start recording this today and to share with all of you is that I put a post up on my profile and Facebook group earlier today to figure out what advice people might benefit from, tips and tricks, or anything that can help them with their business as they are looking to grow their short-term rental business to 50 plus units, or if they're already there and trying to go to the next stage in the hundreds, what it is that's holding them back. So 2 points have come up so far from the comments, and I'll keep an eye on further comments and requests and try and deal with those in the coming days. One of them was, how do we get more long-term direct bookings, especially heading into the low season? And the other one was regarding growing the pool of management leads, owners that you manage for, which has obviously a direct impact on business growth as a whole. So very much so the two ends of focus seem to be on how one can grow demand from guests and also how one can improve the supply base. And to be honest, this is something that I've been thinking about for a while now. So I'm just keeping another look on here to see if everything still looks like it's connected, and it seems like it is. So the direct bookings is something that I've spoken about before as well at length, and we've got various resources up on our various websites to help with ways of getting more direct bookings. The owner marketing, owner onboarding is something I've been thinking about a lot in the previous months, and I think in the coming months I'll start delving more into solutions that can help with that as well. So for now, maybe I'll focus on getting the long-term inquiries through the door and what we can do to make sure we go into the winter season with the tools and the knowledge that we need to make a profit rather than make a loss. As we know, across most markets, there is some seasonality. Summers are usually stronger than winters, unless you live in a ski resort location or something like that, which would drive the demand of the winters. And the question is always, what can we do to ensure that we're fully booked? So I can start with the very basics, which I would say is think about the market research and your market positioning. So who is it that you're trying to serve? Have you taken a good look at the market where your property is located in? Have you analyzed the type of property that you have, the amenities, number of bathrooms, number of bedrooms, and what target group can that serve? Have you looked at competition? With all the AI tools out there, it is really easy now to get help with this market research, which otherwise might have taken a long time to do on your own, or you might even have had to pay someone to do. So I'd suggest just jump on ChatGPT, jump on Claude, Grok, whatever it is that you prefer using, and feed it information. So tell it what it is you're trying to achieve, whether you have a single property or if you've got a portfolio you're managing. I would go market by market. So if you've got a location with multiple properties, then that could be a market. If the properties in that location are hugely different one from the other, so one of them might be contractor homes, 4 or 5 bedrooms, targeting Monday to Friday stays. Another one might be studio flats in the city center with no parking. So different types of demographics. Try to maybe have this conversation multiple times. And for each one of your products or product groups, property groups, figure out who it is that you could work with. As I was saying, you need to make sure to tell the AI your product, the location, and then get it to research competitors in the area and tell it specifically to look for the gap in the market. This is something you can also do before you acquire units in certain markets. So once you think about either buying or trying to get more management clients or going into a rent-to-rent or arbitrage situation, make sure you understand the market you're trying to go into. Make sure there's a gap in the market that you can service. Otherwise, you might be investing time and money, and you might just be taking on risk with very low chances of success or of making a decent amount of money. So once you've taken a look at the area with help of AI by talking to the other operators, you understand who it is that you're trying to serve. I would then formalize writing out the ideal customer profiles, or ICPs as they're referred to. So the ICPs could also come with personas. So you can pick a name, like, for example, I don't know, Jake is a 50-year-old plumber who comes to the area Monday to Friday, works on a construction site, leaves home at 7 a.m., comes back at 7 p.m., is really tired. All he wants to do is turn on the telly, grab a drink, and lie there and enjoy life. There's certain budget considerations, which means it's usually a group of 4 or 5 people, and this is what they're looking for, right? So then you can start to look at how you can adapt the offering that you've got to the needs of your ideal customer profile, to the different persona avatars you might be creating. And once you've done that, you're then ready to actually market it to them, right? So you have to think about how to effectively market to your customers. Now, when you look at how to deal with sales and marketing, one of the things that is very important is to make sure that you don't try to sell, but you try to tap into existing demand and to solve a problem for your potential buyer. So what this might look like in the scenario is understanding the pain points that that Jake has in finding accommodation, right? So if he runs a small plumbing company and he's in charge of accommodating himself and his mates, then you might put yourself in his positions, or ideally you might even interview some of these people to understand what is important to them. So one of them might be, I like to place my bookings over WhatsApp. I don't like going on booking.com because I need to look at all these different details about the property and check-in rules and checkout rules and secure deposits, and I don't know if I could trust the person. So once I've stayed somewhere, I like to just WhatsApp them and be like, mate, we're down there next week, we're down there in 2 weeks, I'm there for 8 weeks in a go, can you sort me out? Something else might be, we need, enough fridge space, because we go shopping, we buy all these ready meals, we shove them all in the fridge, and ideally we want 2 microwaves, because we don't want to sit there waiting for the other person to finish eating their meal. We're really hungry when we get home, we just want to eat, relax, and go to sleep. So whatever it is that applies to your market, these are obviously just made up examples. They might help some of you with some ideas, but I would encourage you to really go into the market, talk to your ideal customer profile, and really understand what their needs are, what their pain points are. Once you have understood what the pain points are and you've ensured that your product can solve those pain points, you then start focusing on how to market it, right? So whether it's on your website, whether it's on your social media, if you do an email newsletter, whatever channels you're using to reach that ideal customer, you want to make sure that your language and so on all conforms to a certain style and addresses certain messaging. So it's good to prepare a simple brand book. Again, AI can help with this bit as well to really accelerate it, which says this is how we talk to our customers. We talk in terms of clean, comfortable properties, good budget, large groups, easy to book, whatever it is that is important in the communication style that you should be adopting, you should document it in some way, shape, or form. And that then forms the basis for all your go-to-market materials. So I might be talking a bit too much about sales and marketing, but I really think having a strong understanding of this and putting the basics into place is extremely important. A lot of operators get into short-term rentals thinking that all they need to do is find a property, put it on Airbnb, put it on booking.com, bookings will flow. And in the high season, that's fine, it works. When you're starting off, it works. As you go along, you might realize you don't want to be so dependent on the OTAs. The fees they charge are actually huge and they really eat into your profits. With costs going up, if you're doing arbitrage or rent-to-rent, or you own the property, the profit margins are really getting squeezed. So you might want to keep more of that money to yourself. And also you might want to target longer stays, whatever it is. It's really important to get these basics right. So as I said, you have to research the market, understand what your offering is, and then learn how to market it. So once you've got this understanding of the ICP, the persona avatars, and you've looked at the language that you want to employ and created your brand book, obviously you need a logo to go with that. You need a brand name. You need a website. You have to make yourself seen online. You need social media profiles, and make sure that you try and keep it all really clean visually. Make sure that your language and your typing is right. There's no spelling mistakes and so on, because it's all about building trust with your customers, right? The quality of the photos, the detail and the description of what you provide also has to be to a high degree, whether the listing is on OTA or on your own website. And maybe this is getting a bit much for a live, but I'd say these are the initial things that one must make sure to have in place before trying to go out there and attract more bookings. So I will maybe wrap up here for today, but I'd love to hear any comments, any questions that you guys have on this part that I've talked about. Anything you'd like me to cover in more detail, or what you'd like to hear me talk about next in terms of how to go about securing more direct bookings. There'll be a series of these over the coming days and weeks. I'll keep adding more and more content, and the more questions I have coming in from all of you, the better I can ensure that I'm serving your needs, and I'm actually answering your questions, and I'm hopefully providing some value that will help you grow. So any questions, how to get started, how to continue along the path you're already on, any roadblockers you face, feel free to ping them in the comments, and I'll do my best to address them. Feel free to also reach out in the DM if you want to go through something in more detail. I'm always happy to chat. Thanks for following me, and see you soon.